Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Flicks on Con EX. Today we're gonna see what happens if we could give all the Digimon Survive partners karma evolutions. You know, good, neutral, evil. Let's check it out and see just what what these mons can become. That's what I so said.
Warning,
Let's go.
this video contains spoilers for all routes in Digimon Survive. Alright, the
I'm
dust
fine with
has
spoilers.
firmly settled on Digimon Survive at this point. Does anyone even still care? Please watch the video. And a lot of you have asked for this specific video, so while I don't know if I'm going to cover Survive much more in the future, let's say it out with a bang. So yes, on today's video, I'm going to be doing my best to talk about what it might look like if all the Digimon partners in Digimon Survive got branching morality-related evolution paths just like Takuma's Agumon.
Oh wait, it's only one mon that gets this? Huh. Oh well.
What is up, digital companions? My name is Con EX and welcome back to another video. And yes, today we're going to be giving branching evolutions to all of those Digimon Survive partners. Talking specifically about the Morality, Harmony, and Rage branches, aka Moral, Vaccine, Harmony, Data, and Wrathful Virus. I did a video more about Dark Biomerge stuff, which you can check out on the card on screen right now, but I will be using Digimon like, for example, Plutomon and Voltbautmon where appropriate, even though they're part of branching paths of the story. I still count them as part of the branching evos. The only ones I won't be including are the true ending megas, which I think if you've played that you can understand, and even though this is a spoilerific video, I'm not going to say them just so people don't get extra spoiled for no reason. Also, while I will try to use older Digimon, I'm more concerned about using Digimon that existed before Survive's major development phase began, and Digimon that weren't in the game or were underused in the game. So like in our terribly ill-fated predictions video, we're not limited by 2005, more so like 2018? But as far as I'm aware, I don't think anything in this video is even post like 2013, so it's fine. I'm also not going to include Armor Digimon or Spirit Digimon, as it seems to be a deliberate avoidance by Digimon Survive itself, and because most of them tend to be free type, which is a headache that we will get to later in the video. But that free typing, the reason I can't use them is because I'm going to be going strictly by Digimon reference book attribute types. So if a Digimon was randomly a virus type in a card game, or in Digimon World was a vaccine when it should be a data, I'm going by the reference book. While yes, we could fudge things, it would make things easier. It's an overall level playing field, which means that we're not making up too much bullshit and people don't get angry. People getting angry on the internet, God forbid.
Oh no, what
so
else
we begin with Falcomon, and thankfully Falcomon's line in the game is all the same attributes, Diatrimon, Chromon, and Valdemon all being vaccines, which really opens us up for his two other evolutions. For his data, I have chosen Kokatrimon. It wasn't in Digimon Survive, so that means we get to fold it back in. I really did miss it, actually, and it's very prominent in the Digimon Adventure stories, so it makes sense to me.
Oh yeah,
then the data ultimate level I think could be one of two things. Either Syndoramon or Hippogriffamon. Syndoramon feels like more of an evolution of Kokatrimon and would be a Deva, which would tie in nicely into Antilamon. However, I'm choosing the Mega to be Griffamon, because frankly there's not that many data Mega Digimon that are kind of bird-like or flying related, so I kind of had to go with this. So I think maybe a better tie-in from Kokatrimon to Griffamon might be if another ultimate was Hippogriffamon. So either Kokatrimon to Syndoramon then Griffamon, or Kokatrimon to Hippogriffamon and Griffomon. Griffomon. And then finally the virus types, and I did struggle with this, because some obvious picks like Peckmon aren't actually virus type, so I ultimately settled on Musiamon. It's not a bird, but it is a virus swordsman, which I think connects quite nicely to Falcomon's whole personality in Survive, and is a bit unique, which Survive also likes to do. Digimon like Tuskmon being in Agumon's branching path is kind of unexpected, and Musiamon acts as a nice champion base to digivolve into Karatenmon. Really great virus ultimate, I think, for Falcomon, and gains back the bird elements. This also means then that we're not going to be completely alien. Something that's quite important about Takuma's Agumon is that you're not locked into one branch the whole game. So you might get like Morality Champion, Wrathful Ultimates, and then Harmonious Mega. So I wanted each of these stages to feel like they could kind of crisscross a little bit. And that is why the Mega will either be Ornismon or, well, I did use Myrmicusmon in the Dark Biomerge video, which does work quite well, but I think I will settle on Ornismon. I can see Chromon becoming this, I can see Syndoramon or Hippogriffamon becoming this. I think it's a nice connection. Then next up is Dracmon. And once again, his default line of Sanglutmon, Tomayotismon, and Beelzemon are all virus types. And even his alternate branch in Voltbautmon is also a virus. So we need full data and vaccine lines for this lad. The data to me was a no-brainer. Dracmon to Wizardmon, tying into that Beelzemon Mega, to then Pumpkinmon as the ultimate because I love Pumpkinmon, and finally Noble Pumpkinmon. The vaccine really
noble
gave me a bit of a
Pumpkinmon.
struggle. There's not a ton of vaccine Digimon that would fit for Drakmon, so I ended up going with Deputymon. It loses that kind of spooky Halloween vampire vibe, but it does have guns just like Beelzemon, and so I think it kind of fits.
It is
I can
a
even
gun.
see
It's got a
Deputymon
frickin'
digivolve into
revolver for the
Myotismon
chest.
and Pumpkinmon too, but I have chosen the ultimate for this line to be Captain Hookmon. Again, a little bit of a send up to Volt Batmon and kind of Beelzemon, I guess. And some of you may be asking, well, why not Hookmon for the champion? Weirdly, Captain Hookmon is a vaccine, but Hookmon is a virus. Digimon's all over the place, I love it. And then I've chosen the Mega to be Olegmon. Again, because appropriate vaccine Megas for Drakmon were difficult, but Olegmon was a pirate in most of his appearances in the anime, and I can see how Pumpkinmon could become him. Myotismon is a bit of a stretch, but of course Captain Hookmon is a pirate, and so is Olegmon. Moving over...
Yeah, well you gotta up, hold on, damn it, come on. And we're back.
Over to Floramon, things start getting a little bit weird. Her champion, Vegemon, is a virus, her ultimate, Blossomon, is a data, and so is her Mega, Ceresmon Medium, which means we need a full vaccine line, and then we need to fill in the other lines.
Yeah,
so for the vaccine line, I chose Burgermon, because they kind of look like onions. That works for me, tying into Vegemon. And, no vaccine, really, plant champions that I could use, so, things like Sunflowermon, Togemon are all data types. This is actually a real struggle in this case. Burgermon would then digivolve to Jagamon, and the Mega will be Venusmon. This was my toughest pick for the video. There's no vaccine plants. Well, actually, that's not true. There is a vaccine plant Mega, and it's Bloom Lordmon, who came out in 2021. Good for him. So I'd really like to use Bloom Lordmon, but I don't think even with Survive's delays, he would have been able to be put into the game. So, yeah, Venusmon it is. Plus, I think Venusmon fits the femininity of Digimon like Ceresmon Medium. I feel like Bloom Lordmon, well, yeah, it could be feminine, is a perfect fit in every way, actually. What am I saying? Anyway, Venusmon's the Mega. Then over to the virus line, yes, we begin with Vegemon, which then I think would be very obvious to digivolve into Cherrymon. Quite surprised we didn't see that in Survive. And then the virus Mega will be Puppetmon. It was in Survive as a prominent character, but I don't think that rules anything out. There are plenty of evolution lines both in the main and in the recruitables that feature Digimon that we see in other parts of the game, so I think that's totally fine. Then moving over to the data, we finally get to put Kiwimon in here. I was really rooting for Kiwimon to be Floramon's evolution in this game, so I'm glad to kind of fix that a little bit. Although I do actually really like Vegemon being a weird outlier, very V-Pet style, but still kind of true to Floramon. And then, Blossomon and Ceresmon Medium from the game. Oh, and hey, this video is sponsored. Sponsors help us pay for...
And we're back.
Lopmon is also really interesting. Its champion, Tsuruimon, and its ultimate, Antilamon, are both data types, specifically the Antilamon Deva, though. Weirdly, the non-Deva version of Antilamon is a virus. And I did consider using this for the virus line, but I'm not a big fan of doubling up, so base Antilamon will not be in this evolution branch. Then, of course, Wendigomon is also a virus, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but Cherubimon Virtue, the Mega for this game, is a vaccine, so we also need pre-evolutions for that. I kind of get on a story level why they didn't put Cherubimon Vice in this game, but it feels like they really should have, so we're going to fold that back in a minute. Not? Anyway, Tsuruimon digivolving to Antilamon Deva, and then, yeah, we don't have many data-type Mega Rabbits, so our choice ultimately boils down to Dianamon, which I kind of wanted to avoid using, but it's really the only applicable Digimon here. The only other one I might suggest if you don't want to put Dianamon here is maybe Duftmon. It's not really a rabbit, but it's kind of animalistic and is a data type, but I think Dianamon really should be here. So anyway, let's go over to the vaccine line, of course, ending in Cherubimon Virtue, and I want to work backwards on this one to explain my logic. I think Cherubimon Virtue digivolving from Luminamon would be really fun here. They're both pinky, both vaccine type, both quite cute, but Luminamon also has the Shademon half of its potential personality, I guess, which really references that Tsuruimon-Wendigomon relationship. The champion, however, is really tough. Digimon like Lekismon are data types just like Dianamon, so we can't use those. There's not really a ton of cutesy vaccine champions that look like Lopmon. I have used Poochimon as a pre-evolution for Luminamon before, but again, as I said in the intro, it is an armor, so it is technically a free type. You could put it here, though, if you wanted to, but if we're going to go strictly by the rules, I am going to put Darkmon here as the champion. It's a little weird, but it's that holy vibe I'm looking for, and it is ultimately a vaccine champion. Then for Wendigomon, this was a no-brainer. As I said, I did consider the regular Antilamon, but I don't want to double up, so he will become Mephismon, a really great virus ultimate that I have become quite fond of as a Wendigomon evolution, and they will end up as Cherubimon Vice. Then is Kunemon. Oh boy! No one has ever remarked on how few bug Digimon there are at certain levels before. So yeah, Kunemon normally becomes Flymon, then Jewel Beamon, and finally Bancho Stingmon. Bancho Stingmon is a free type. Oh god. So I really debated on this. If Bancho Stingmon's a free type, why can't, the whole partners be? But then if they're all free types, I can just put free types wherever I want, then the video doesn't really have much fun to it. I just pick a load of armor Digimon and call it a day. So we are going to include Bancho Stingmon here. And I'm going to include him in the data branching evolution line. This is because there's no data bug megas. However, Kunemon's data champion will be Yanmamon, I think a pretty underused Digimon and a data bug. It looks like it maybe should be a virus, which speaking of, so does its evolution. Scorpiomon, or Skull Scorpiomon, the dub, which, Scorpions are arachnids, not bugs, but works fine. And then the mega of Bancho Stingmon. Tyrant Kabuterimon is not a data. Grand Kuwagamon is not a data. There's only really one Digimon that could fit here. However, if you were to go really left field, it would be pretty funny if we gave Rio from Survive, Rio from Adventure 02, Tamers, a bunch of franchises, his partner. So maybe if we gave Rio Justimon, which is a data type, I thought that would be funny. But no, probably Bancho Stingmon. Thankfully, the vaccine and virus lines are a lot easier. Sneemon is a vaccine, which I never really realized before, but I like it a lot to digivolve into Jewel Beamon, which is part of the original line. And then, finally, Hercules Kabuterimon, because again, quite low on bug mega Digimon that aren't viruses. Now, of course, Flymon is the virus champion, and I know what you're expecting of me. I'm not doing it. Flymon in this branch, I think, will digivolve to Okuamon, and finally, Grand Kuwagamon. I am of the opinion that if Habu wanted to include the Fanbeamon line in Digimon Survive, he would have, and he didn't. So while it is my personal favorite Digivolution line, I think for Survive's kind of outlook on Digimon and which Digimon it includes, there's a notable lack of X-antibody carriers. I feel like Digimon like Doraemon and Ryudomon would have showed up too if Habu was including them. I'm sure there's like a couple of X-antibody natural carriers in there that I don't remember, but I feel like Fanbeamon and its line are pretty much disqualified. As much as I would like Flymon to Canon Beamon to Tiger Vespermon, I just think that Okuamon to Grand Kuwagamon is much more appropriate and fitting for this game. And that would also then mean that Rio would have Grand Kuwagamon and Bancho Stingmon, which I think is pretty cool. The two kind of Stingmon megas. And I would actually have put Stingmon in these evolutions too, but he's a free type. Swap him out for Yanmamon if you want. Then Shakomon in the regular game digivolves to Shellmon, Mermaimon, and then Marine Angemon. Shellmon and Mermaimon are data types, but Marine Angemon is a vaccine. So I thought it would make a ton of sense if the data line instead went Shellmon, Mermaimon, and then Ancient Mermaimon. For the vaccine line, I have chosen Dolphinmon to Waymon Perfect, and finally Marine Angemon. This is a very common evolution line in Digimon media. And the virus is Gesomon to Dagomon, finally getting to use him after not being able to use him in the Survive Biomerge video, and ending up at Leviamon. That was easy. Then for Labramon, things get weird. Thankfully, her main line of Dobamon to Cerberusmon to Anubismon are all vaccines. Still a little bit surprised that Dobamon and Cerberusmon are vaccines. Maybe I shouldn't judge a virus by its cover, but that does kind of open us up. However, Plutomon, a potential biomerge for Aoi, is a virus, and I am gonna keep it. But anyway, moving back to the datas, the champion will be Dogmon. I really want to use Sesamon here, but unfortunately, Sesamon is a vaccine, just like Dobamon, which is probably why it's not a Labramon Evo in the game. Damn it. So the weirdly cartoonish Dogmon goes here, digivolving into Katoramon to kind of like appease Sesamon fans, and finally Saberleomon, just a pretty decent data mega. And then on the virus side, I've chosen Black Gatomon. This may seem weird, but there's actually quite few virus kind of animalistic champions we can choose from that I don't think are more appropriate for other lines in the video. And if you think about it, Salamon is kind of like a puppy who becomes a cat, so Labramon becoming a black cat is pretty on brand for Digimon. This then lets us have Black Gatomon digivolve to Bastemon before finally becoming Plutomon.
Nice. Oh, damn it. We're back.
And that's all the Digimon partners in Survive, right? Wrong. So, last warning, there are 2 more Digimon partners that you get to have in the party semi-control in Digimon Survive, and I am going to give them branching evos too, so skip to this timestamp if you don't want to see that. So, starting with Garurumon, he of course becomes Were-Garurumon, and then Metal Garurumon is a data. Yeah, Garurumon and Were-Garurumon are a vaccine, but for some reason Metal Garurumon is a data. Greymon, Metal Greymon, and War Greymon all get to be vaccines, thankfully though. So we're going to do a little bit of weird weirdness here. The vaccine mega for where Garurumon I've settled on is Marsmon. I was hoping to use something like Crest Garurumon, but unfortunately it's also a data. And as for that data line, well, I talked about it in the VPET video, but Dramogimon actually makes quite a fun Gabumon evolution. And again, was not in Digimon Survive. Weird. Dramogimon I will then have Digivolve to Pandamon, just because there's kind of few, again, data ultimates that I think fit the bill. And I just like to use Pandamon in something before finally becoming Metal Garurumon. Probably the weirdest line of the video, but probably not the weirdest line in Digimon Survive. And then for the virus, I am doing something that I wish we could have seen in Digimon Survive. I love Dracmon's evolution line of Sangloopmon to Myotismon to Beelzemon. It's nice, it's a little bit weird, but it still makes sense. I just really wanted to see Astamon and Grand Dracmon in this game. So I am going to have the virus evolution for Gabumon be Porcupamon to Astamon, and then finally Grand Dracmon. You might be wondering about Gururumon, but it's not a virus. Neither is Psychmon. And then finally is Renamon, or Haru. Its standard line is, I think, Cubimon to Taomon to Sequoiamon. I don't think we ever actually see it Digivolve to Cubimon in Survive, if I'm not wrong, but we do see Taomon and Sequoiamon. Again, as I discussed in the Biomerge video, Kuzuhamon, Domon, etc. are not virus types, but Renamon's whole line is data. So for the vaccine, I have chosen Repamon to Kirinmon, and finally Kentorusmon, all sort of around 2005 era Digimon. All vaccines, I think, really perfect. And then for the virus, things got a little weird. I used Black Gatomon earlier, so a pick I've gone with is a little bit strange, but I think does work, is Evilmon. Now yes, it's very goofy, but it does still have fur, and I'm using it as a transition virus Digimon to go into Lady Devimon, which I think works really well alongside things like Taomon as a virus, before finally becoming Lilithmon. So while Evilmon is a little bit funky in this line, Lady Devimon and Lilithmon I think would be so...
Khan, I know you probably weren't meaning to, but I think later on when you see your video or anything like that, you may realize what you've accidentally just done by having Lilithmon be the virus digivolution of Renamon. But hey, I'm not gonna say anything, we're just gonna move on and keep that between ourselves.
So cool for Renamon / Haru. Even if Renamon spends a lot of her time as a boy in Survive, I mean, Digimon gender is whatever, it doesn't matter, the data, don't worry about it. I know Renamon said Digimon don't have gender in Digimon Tamers. I think she was talking more about like biological sex. I think Digimon can still present as feminine and masculine, many of them do. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of my picks for these Digimon Survive branching morality evolutions in the comments down below. And let me know what you would do differently. It's actually really hard. Trying to just find an attribute of certain levels for this video was half the headache. Then even going, oh, does this even fit? What a nightmare. Like I said, I think this is probably the last Digimon Survive video I'm going to do for quite a while. With Christmas coming up, there's not really much planned for Survive there. But if there's something you really want to see, let me know down below. Huge shout out to my Sovereign, ZDK14, and Jamon for supporting this channel. Thank you so much.
Alright, well folks, that's where we're going to end off today's video. I want you all to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Down in the description will be a link to the original video, so remember to support the original creator and all he does. And I'll see all of you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.